Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a second to give a bit of an update on the patch notes here for Legion TD2. Actually kind of excited for a few of these things. Just thought I would get it out there to the world. First thing I thought was really cool is they're finally introducing low level mercenary of the power variety. Something you can send to really put some pressure on at that 40 Mythium cost, which is kind of nice. Feel like I've been playing this game for a year or two now, and it'll be nice to have some variation in the early game, and also in some of those mid rounds as well. I'm interested to see what it is. It just seems to be like long range flamethrower. I wonder if it's like individual target or if it hits groups of things. Because if it hits groups, that could help with some of that like early spam of like a lot of little fish, a lot of skeletons, that type of thing. They're also completely overhauling the classic mode, which is pretty cool for some of it, but I'm a little disappointed with one or two of the things, which we'll get to in a second here. First, some of the different modes that they're now going to have in, or not some of, basically the modes that they're going to have in. New mode here called Superhero. Wave 6 and 16, you're going to get an extra random Legion spell from these ones here, which are like buffs to units. So for me, I like to have like one super powered unit. This is going to give me a superhero, which is going to be awesome. And you're also going to get your wave 10 spell as well. So triple spells on things with other buffs. Oh my god, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be so much fun. Dual build duel. Forcing everyone to dual build. Yes, that's going to be amazing. Um, Honestly, it'll also, I think, help with getting people used to dual build as a concept. And that way, if they do come across it in actual classic games, it's not going to seem as jarring, and they're not going to be as confused as how to combat it or what to do. Another new classic mode, of course, mini and wumbo. Just tier ones and tier sixes, you get a little bit extra income. I think that's gonna be very weird, but we'll see how that is. This one I'm really stoked for. Tower defense. All units are stationary, but they have 500 range. All enemies are melee ranged. Compensation buffs in this mode. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know. This feels like it's gonna be super fun, but I feel like some units are gonna be incredibly broken. um, but we'll get there. And they're reworking Gigamercs. I love Gigamercs, but they're making it even better. Now, when you summon multiple copies of the same mercenary, they're going to merge into one Giga Chad of a Merc. They're also going to scale the abilities up to 4 or 8 times, depending. So, I think it's going to be pretty sick. They're fixing the Mythium costs and incomes to normal because of that. But honestly, I'm just stoked to see some giant Giga Mercs versus giant champions and seeing what we got fighting. They've reworked a couple. They've reworked lock in to give you extra money, kind of put you in quickly instead. New lock in random fighter bonus gives you +6 gold. Quite nice, quite nice. And for those who like redraw, you're going to have unlimited redraws, so you can get the ultimate build if you really want that. Also keeping Kingsguard, making it a little bit stronger. I might try this in Classic, but we'll see as it comes out. This is another huge change that I'm pretty stoked for. Improving the pathing and targeting. Previously, there'd be a lot of variation depending on where something was built, and even if it was built in the same place as in this scenario here, you would still have variations, but they've now improved it. So previously, this setup, you would only clear it 76 out of 1,000 times, basically 7% success rate. But now with the improvements, 100% success rate. So it's going to be a lot more consistent where you place things, knowing that this will be able to cover certain things. Couple of game balance things here. The changing league gold. So now the player causing league gets 35% more gold than their teammate, which means that if the teammate's kind of being selfish and not contributing to making their person leak, they're not going to get as much of a reward, which should definitely help people working together for team cohesion. Buffing champion with the masterminds, I'm happy with. I've used this a bunch. They said low win rate. Maybe I had okay luck with it, but then again, that's a very small sample size. Kingsguard, yeah, like I said, I wanted to try that one, but it always seems to be a little too weak. Maybe this will be good with that little extra 20, the extra 2% attack speed. And they're making the king work a little bit differently. And now he's going to be slightly weaker against small leaks and better against big leaks, but we'll see. Overall, they're making mercenaries weaker in general, so this should hopefully still feel pretty good. Looks like they have a decent chunk of changes. Ooh. I see. They're nerfing Gargoyle and Green Devil. Too much chieftain cheese. Deep Coiler, I like. They're buffing it with some extra HP. That's nice. Canopy also gets some extra HP, which is very nice. I like that. Gatling gun. Okay, I see. Gatling gun was perpetually one of the least picked units in the game, despite having a high win rate. Difficult to position well, and if you did, things outside your control were often the difference between it tanking and not. Okay. So the damage is going up, but not by as much as they would have in max. But they're still going to be good. I'm excited for this. I really like the Gatling gun. So this buff is going to be really, really nice. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So these are actually going to be better against smaller units as opposed to being better against large units. Still good against large units, but they're not going to have that negative where they're only attacking a few things and wind up not really being able to stack up to their damage. It seems the mercenaries, they've changed them quite a bit. Significantly power creeped over the years, which caused long saving Bithium to become too strong in mid and late game. So they're going to scale that back with nerfs to all the mercenaries, which will shift the power budget back into the income. So it's going to be more important just to get that income. But we'll see how it is, since that new unit is also brought in. So it looks like these are all being brought down. They say about 10%. About 10% for power mercenaries, and then income mercenaries, they're dropping about 20%. A couple waves here, not as much AoE damage on wave 18, which is good, and wave 20, a little bit less damage. Okay. Mercenaries and game pursing are on the balance watch list, which I think is good because that's a lot of changes to the actual mercenaries. I'm really excited to try this out, which will probably launch later today. Being able to do classic modes and custom games, that's going to be sick for those of us with friends. Not me, but people who have 4 or 8 friends to actually play with. That is a very, very nice little buff. And then you got some new emotes with some of the community members, which is really, really cool. Trakir and Doof and some of these other guys. And girls, potentially. Target units HUD display. Oh, okay. So you can see who's targeted by and targeting. That'll definitely help for seeing who's actually taking aggro. Oh, thank God, yes. Being able to actually give back the Nakamata money. Oh my. That happens so often where you're like, oh, I put in the 30, but then I want to get something else. So you had to fix that, which is nice. Top game rewards and some minor improvements. Nothing I really care about here, but decent amount of changes and decent amount of new content as well to try. I can't wait to do some. Hopefully you guys all have a good bunch of games, and I'll talk to you guys next time.